Hey guys, it's Ruuds from Ruuds In the Pharmacy. If you've been following along on Instagram, you know that I'm releasing an application video series starting today. So this is the first one. This one's going to be about personal statements. So let's get into it. So of course, if you apply to any kind of grad school, MBA, MPH, PharmD, medical school, PA, you have to write basically a synopsis of you, about you, what you want to do, why you're pursuing this degree, what led you to pursue this degree, and just like what makes you stand out. So of course, if you're like me, you hate talking about yourself or like writing about yourself. It kind of gets weird. Like I don't mind talking about my accomplishments or like why I want to do something, but putting that into, what was it, like 1,000 words or something, kind of gets, you kind of start feeling like you're talking too much about yourself. So I kind of took a different approach and I talked about myself without really talking about myself. So in my first paragraph, it was kind of like an intro, not necessarily, hi, my name is Rudi Wordlaw. I'm 21 years old and I go to Georgia Southern. No, so it was kind of just like me as a student, what I studied quickly, and also what my passion and my path was going to be. So I said, as a public health and chemistry student, I'm attracted to fields on the intersection of education and scientific investigation. My love for educating and assisting others stems from my time as a laboratory teaching assistant, chemistry tutor for my university, as well as the many hours I've spent volunteering. My brief experience as an undergraduate microbiology research student has greatly influenced my love for research and the impacts research can have on families, communities, and a global level. However, my undergraduate experience in designing and implementing a public health initiative has had a large influence on my desire to make a difference in people's lives on an individual level. So that right there was just like what I studied. I said public health and chemistry student, a quick synopsis of my extracurriculars. I tutored chemistry. I tutored Gen Chem through Biochem for a year and a half. I was a lab teaching assistant and I did mini volunteering. So that cuts all that out. And I didn't want to talk about that too much because obviously in the PharmCAS system or your PA system, your MPH system, your med school system, you'll talk about your volunteer experiences. So there's no need to take verbatim what you're putting on your application and put it in your personal statement. So my next paragraph, I talked about why I chose public health as my major. So obviously I didn't choose bio and I didn't choose chemistry as my major, although chemistry was my minor. So I kind of had to talk about why I chose public health. And honestly, if you're doing the same thing for another program, I would definitely talk about why you chose public health, why you chose psychology, why you chose literature, why you chose art. Just talk about why you chose that major, especially if you're going into a graduate health program. So I chose to pursue public health simply because I care. In his book, The Light in the Heart, Roy Bennett states, dedicate yourself to what gives your life true meaning and purpose. Make a positive difference in someone's life. This idea summarizes my beliefs and values, which have always guided my actions in helping each other, showing compassion, and being committed to worthy causes. Among those causes, educating populations happens to be one. No matter one's discipline in healthcare, an important role you play is as an educator. I relish in the idea of playing a role in educating populations about chronic disease management and other pharmaceutical topics affecting their wellness. So right there, I talked about quickly why I chose to study public health and put chemistry as my minor. I truly do enjoy the patient education, working with underserved populations and all that stuff. So I just wanted to throw that in there to tell them why I specifically chose not to pursue the typical bio or chemistry route. This actually is also in my MPH personal statement because obviously MPH matches with public health. I have to talk about why I love public health. So in the next paragraph, it's a little bit longer. It just kind of talks about why I chose pharmacy, my path kind of, and as well as what solidified my choice with pharmacy. So in that one, I said, while I've been interested in possibly pursuing a career in pharmacy for some time, the community and public health course ignited my passions and instantly exposed the right path for me. The courses required service learning projects with local organizations, gave us the opportunity to apply what we learned in the classroom and make a real impact in communities. I personally felt at home when discussing possible placements such as the Hearts and Hands Clinic, who provides free primary health care services for citizens who are medically uninsured and have an income at or below 200% of the federal poverty line. Through the sharing of knowledge, I would like to be a catalyst to improve communications and create better health outcomes by being a resource in similar communities. Another factor in my decision to pursue pharmacy was a policy statement released by the American Public Health Association titled "The Role of a Pharmacist in Public Health." I was blown away with the correlation between public health and pharmacy, realizing how pharmacists are a central component to communities because of their ability to monitor health status and also empower the community through education, solidified my choice to combine science, education, and public health into a career as a pharmacist. See how easy that was? Kidding. So right there, I just kind of talked about why I chose it, what solidified it for me, and kind of like a personal story on why I also chose it. Other people might choose to talk about a personal illness they suffer with, and that's why they want to become a pharmacist or want to become a doctor or want to become a nurse, want to become a PA. You might also be able to talk about a personal experience outside of your personal body. So like a family member, your mother has cancer, stuff like that. Your interaction with doctors, your interaction with dentists, public health professionals, PAs, etc. So that's where you kind of bring in your experiences, why you want to do this, what led you to do it, and why, like what solidified that for you. My last paragraph, it's just a quick conclusion. So I said, throughout many academic and personal obstacles along the way, I remain focused on preparing myself for pharmacy school and a lifetime of service beyond my college career. Alongside my PharmD, I'd also like to continue my public health studies to receive my master's of public health. These degrees would not benefit me alone. They would actually be an investment in communities across the United States. Providing compassionate pharmaceutical care to underserved communities would be more than fulfilling for my future endeavors. I hope to turn the passion I have for helping others, my dedication to learning, and positive attitude into a promising career in the United States Public Health Service as a pharmacist. So as I wrapped it up, I talked about my academics. Obviously they have my transcript, so there's no need for me to repeat that I got a C in history. If you guys don't know, I suck at history. Science has always been my thing. I suck at history. They're all named George. I suck at history. But there's no need for me to talk about that because A, they have my transcript. So there's no need for you to keep going on and on about how you made an A in organic chemistry, which I did. But we don't need to talk about that. You shouldn't talk about how you got straight A's from literally kindergarten to your senior year of college. They have your transcript. Use that time and use that word count for something more important. Add something in there that might make you stand out. If you're MD also wanting to pursue your PhD, mention that. Are you a PharmD also wanting to pursue your PhD? Mention that. You also want to pursue, if you look on my blog, there's other PharmD routes. You can do PharmD MBA, PharmD Health Informatics, PharmD, there was something else. Check that out on my blog. But just mention something that kind of makes you stick out. That way when you have your interview, or if you're invited for an interview, you can talk more about that, and it just sparks a little curiosity in them. And then lastly, I mentioned my specific career goal, which was a United States public health pharmacist. So I was straight to the point, but also kind of vague, so that I spark a little curiosity in them, so that when I come in for my interview, I can talk about the United States Public Health Service all day. And I did. I talked about my emergency room gap experience for 5 to 10 minutes with my interviewer, because they were just so interested in why I went that route and the things I've learned. So that's about it, guys. I'm sure there's plenty of other tips that people are giving out online, YouTube, on blogs. So check those out. I really hope this helps someone. I wish I had known these things along my way. My family's in law and business, so no one really had to write things like that when they went to school. So a lot of the things I learned just through Googling. So I really hope just hearing my 2 personal statements and of these steps really helped you guys out. If so, please let me know below. If you have any questions, please contact me on Instagram. My name is Ruuds_in the Pharmacy. You can also check out my blog, which is in below. Thanks, guys.